All right, there are two ways to be the greatest of all time, okay? You can be a Pat Rothfuss, okay, and write your first book and instantly become like an all-time classic, fantasy. I mean, if he doesn't write the third one, if he doesn't get around to it, then it'll fall off a lot. But if he gets that third one done, it's going to be an instant classic trilogy. That's step number one, right? It's just to magically be born or bump into or magically just kind of have all the skills you need and get super lucky, okay? That's not a reproducible path. That's not something, if you want to be the greatest of all time, you can't rely on that because you just, he rolled all the good dice. Good for him, he got all the good stats, okay? We can't do that. Okay, what do we do if we want to be the GOAT? And we have all average to above average stats. So we're not thinking about, if you have a serious problem, you're probably not going to be able to be the GOAT, sorry. Maybe if you fix it, but we can always improve every day. But like thinking about average to above average stats, how do we be literally the greatest of all time? There's two people I think about. And the first time I saw this was Jimmy Beast, okay? Mr. Beast. And then the second time I saw this was Brandon Sanderson, and it really kind of nailed this into my head, that this is something that's so clearly doable. So what did Mr. Jimmy Beast do is, Mr. Jimmy Beast is 12 years old, and he starts making YouTube videos constantly. And there's videos of him at age 14, age 15, thinking deeply about the YouTube algorithm, thinking about different ways they can improve his videos. Oh, if I start faster. Oh, if I do this, if I do this, if I do this, if I do this. He probably knows YouTube and the YouTube algorithm better than anyone on the planet. Maybe very closely competing with the engineers who designed the project, is the only people who could even imaginably have a better understanding of how YouTube works. And he has he has the success to prove it. And the other person, Brandon Sanderson, is another one who, before he, Mr. Beast took him 10 years of grueling work of constantly making things 1% better every day to be the best. Brandon Sanderson wrote 6 full books before his first book got published, and then another 3 books before his next book got published. And he almost lost his career after, he had a huge setback after his third published book or something, where it only sold a few thousand copies, and his career was really, really, really looking bad, and they managed to pull it back. But let's say they hadn't, right? He still would be the GOATed of all time fantasy author. For context, that's what he is. I didn't make that clear. And he has the same story. He's like, I graduated college. I went to a master's program just to have something to do so my parents weren't bothering me while I'm writing my books. And then I got a job as a hotel night, desk person who has to give someone a towel once every hour, or check someone in the middle of the night once a night. And I would sit there for 8 hours, and I would be writing my books for 8 hours as this hotel security person. And he's like, I made this decision after, I was in this bad place where I'm not getting any money and I'm stuck as this hotel clerk of when do I switch careers? When do I get a new job? And he's like, I'm going to be writing books. This is it. I'm going to be writing books no matter where I'm at, no matter what I'm doing. I'm going to be writing my books. Hard commit to that decision. If you full commit to something, you got to realize most people are not full committing, and most people are not, what is the word, particularly interested in any particular thing. If you full commit to something for 10 years, you will be shocked at how far you can get. And, it takes a couple of things, but it's really 10 years of consistent work. And then, for example, a lot of these videos, I'll just kind of pump a few out if I'm not feeling good, but sometimes I'll think about it. But what I should be doing if I wanted to be on this path, which sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm not, is, every single time, not just doing the work consistently, but also constantly making 1% improvements. So thinking about each piece of work that you do, and then how can I make this a little bit better? What were the weakest things about this? What were the strongest things about this? Why did this do well? Why did this do less well? Why did this do a little more well? Constantly doing it, and then putting in the work to make it a little bit better. So this is more like a hobby. So I try to do this for less than, 30 minutes, a couple days a week. So not quite there yet, but again, just building up the consistency and then getting there. But yeah, that's how you do it. I feel like if Jimmy Beast can do it, because that guy, he's not particularly charismatic, especially if you look at his videos from 12 years ago. He's just not, he doesn't have any particular skill that you would look at and you would say, that guy is going to be the GOAT. The only skill that he has that you could see from those 10 years ago is the stuff that I'm talking about, is the consistency and the certainty. This is what I am going to do. No matter how good I'm at, I'm going to do it. and then the self-improvement focus, right? Those are like the three things, like the constant thoughtfulness about this. And even if your stats are like mid, you know, if you do those three things, holy, you can get pretty fucking far. And I think it's a reasonably consistent path to be, if not the GOAT, then, you know, a GOAT contender, right? Like, Sanderson's still early in his career, and he's fucking, if you guys don't know this guy, he writes like, you know how George R.R. Martin, you know, you have to wait like 5 years between books, and or 10 years or 15 years. People have been waiting however long for this book to come out for Game of Thrones. And Pat Rothfuss, he's basically, who knows when that book is coming out. But Sanderson puts out like 2 books a year, right? Like 2 full books. And when I say 2 books a year, I'm not saying 2 books a year, like, oh, 2 books a year, like, you know, cute little, he puts out like fucking humongous volumes a year, 1,000-page fucking books. You know, and then like, it's like above average, his books range from above average to absolutely fucking gigantic, epic fantasies. And he's like usually putting out like at least 1, often 2 books in a year. And it's just like, why? Like, how does he do it? You know? So, super impressed by that guy. He's my current role model. But yeah, that'll be another quick video.